Welcome to episode 3 of This Movie's Gay. My name's James.
My name is Corwyn.
And boy, do we have a doozy of a freaking podcast for you. But guess what? We have our first guest. You know her from the Mostly Speaking Sentai podcast. It's my co-host, Nikki Jake.
Hi, only James can call me Nikki.
Nikki Jake, but I never call you just Nikki. I say Nikki Jake.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if anyone gets that thought in their head that it's okay, it's not.
Yeah. Hey, one quick thing. Kind of almost kiss the mic. From how far away you are, I don't know where you're at.
Because you say that I breathed too loud into it, so I moved it away.
Yeah, but I just move your mouth away from the mic, baby.
Oh my
This is
God.
mic technique. Yeah, that's a good volume
You are
just did.
so frustrating.
Nah. I'm a freaking charmer. Just like this movie we watched. We're getting right into it. We watched the
Gay Bed and Breakfast of Terror from 2007.
I always think it's the gayest bed and breakfast.
I mean, it wasn't the gayest until the end, but then
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to go right off the bat. This movie was a minefield of twists and turns, and I don't even remember any of it.
I mean, I don't feel like it was so much twists and turns. It's just a minefield of terribleness.
We also just watched this, and it was a long movie, but we're going to start out with the characters. We're going to introduce everyone. Also, this is just a mental note for myself to make sure that I know all of the characters on this movie. So we're going to go with couples. There was 4 couples?
4?
There were 2. No, there were 5.
5?
It wasn't there? Yes.
Okay, let's just
I
start
don't
naming
know.
them.
That's
So-
what I was going to say. It's probably confusing is because there are so many characters.
Yeah, I'm glad one of the couples just died off as quickly as possible. And we'll start out with them, which were Lizard Man Daddy, and he took a bath, and he was with Earbud Boy. So that's what we'll be calling these 2 people. If you've seen the movie, you'll quickly understand who those 2 people are. Next, we've got Mr. High Tea, and at first I said low rent divine, but then I found antonyms for divine, which divine means godly or godlike. So either earthly or ordinary. Which one do you want to go with?
I still think that you should not do high tea. You should do Deadeye Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, but he had sex one after another. That's high T. T as in testosterone, baby. He doesn't have low T.
Still Deadeye Bruce Campbell to me.
Okay. I also did -2 to charisma Bruce Campbell. We also have Mom Cut 2008. She is dating Sweet Lady.
Those are the lipstick lesbians.
And then Tit Monster, which is from the movie. I didn't make that up. And Perfect Tooth Jewel. And I swear there was one more. Pop Collar Frankenstein is dating Mikey Day from SNL.
Yeah.
I think Pop Collar Frankenstein is my favorite name just because it fits so well with his character, screaming that he knows judo right off the bat.
I'm an expert, too, in judo.
He's talking about swimming. He's like, I'm a great swimmer in judo.
Oh, man. What do you think judo swimming would be like? Do we know anyone who can play judo?
But that's not all the characters.
Oh, yeah. We also...
There's the third one to that group.
Yes, which kind of like Gemstone Cowboy is what I was kind of calling her.
She died very quickly, so I completely forgot about her.
Yeah. She was loving a court procedural show where someone said, denied your honor or something like that, and she just started busting a gut. It was insane.
I thought she looked like a low-budget Mrs. Poppet from Sweeney Todd. I think
I don't
that's her
remember
name.
that movie.
It's the one that it's the character Helena Bonham Carter plays.
She also reminded me of something that would be in the movie Tremors.
I mean,
I've
this
never seen
entire
it.
movie would be in the movie Tremors.
This is gay Tremors. We did it.
I mean, the villain, the little
slug boy.
the little maggot slug boy is basically the trimmer monster.
Before we even knew he was a slug man, I said, ooh, someone's got a snail trail. Then I thought, oh, maybe man-freed or man-fed because he's fed by man. Maybe he's a metaphor for penises and vaginas because it's just a gross snail trail, a goopy snail trail.
I did not think he was a metaphor. I think he was just gross.
Man, he needs to go to the dentist, am I right?
I don't think a dentist can help that. There's just too much wrong. But
He just needed a good tooth cleaning and maybe some braces.
So
maybe file some of those down.
So he's one of our villain characters, and then we also have who I was calling Lady Igor because she very much had Igor vibes.
I said she was a Rachel Dratch character, specifically if she was playing in a live action movie of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, she would be single D because she didn't have a chin. And I said, she just wants a pretty lady to sit on that chinless face.
She kind of reminds me of, like, what was it, Gail the Snail from Always Sunny?
Gail the Snail?
Is it Gail the Snail? It's the one that they throw salt at some point.
No, that's Manfred.
Basically.
I said, oh, they just need to throw some salt on him and problem solved.
What?
Nicole,
What?
who's the last character?
Did we say the mom?
No,
No,
not yet.
we're waiting for you to say the mom.
The mom.
Who would you call her?
Oh, scary godmother.
Okay.
So we got Scary Godmother, the Rachel Dratch character.
Which we can say, what, female Igor? Is that what
Lady
you're saying?
Igor.
Lady Igor.
And then Manfred.
Yeah. Slug boy.
Slug boy.
Snail pale. I don't know. Snail impaled with his teeth.
And it took us just as long to introduce those characters as the movie did with its 5-car expositions.
Okay, so I wrote down, where's the place that I'm trying to look for?
You have too many notes. You can't find it.
No, I have so many notes just within the first 7 minutes of this whole entire movie. I said, we have the same 3 intros. It's them kissing their loved one in the car, then being like, whoa, we should be watching the road. And then right after that is a creepy scene with either the mom or Lady Igor. And then, after I wrote that down, we get another 2 introductions that are the same exact thing of them saying, oh, why is this place so far out from, I guess, Vegas?
3 introductions. I wrote 5 times. We got that scene 5 times.
Well, I wrote down 3, and then we got 2 additional ones.
Oh, yeah.
And even with all of those scenes like that are supposed to sort of like solidify who the characters are, like we were still like, what the fuck are they talking about?
They introduced...
like later on.
Yeah, they introduced them, but we didn't get names at all.
We just got... Oh, this is the bitchy person in the couple, and this is the nice person in the couple.
Yeah, I wrote down every couple has a rude counterpart. There's a nice one, or I guess not nice, like there's a dom and a sub. That's it. Those are the only... Nicole and I are dating. Which one of us is the dom and which one of us is the sub?
No comment.
Oh. We switch roles sometimes, but mainly it's Frank is the dom. Frank's our cat.
No comment.
Good choice, probably.
Okay. So we are... Oh, no. Even before that, we had the Beware of Straights song.
Oh my God.
I forgot about that for a second. But first of all, the movie just like started and I was like, wait, what? This is happening? What's happening? Like it just started off with like random scenes of someone running and dying. And then we went right into that intro, the movie intro with the Beware the Straights.
It's a catchy ass song, except this movie is quiet as fuck. We had my computer turned up all the way and the TV was at max volume and it was still hard to hear things.
Yeah. But that song was pretty great. I feel, except like it was just very weird and a little off-putting.
It wasn't until the last verse that I understood the story of it, though. That it's just beware of straights.
She's like, beware the straights, they're gonna murder you.
Which is what I was like, oh man, like jokingly said it was gonna be a hate crime movie, and it pretty much was.
And then towards the end of the movie, I was like, no, this isn't the gay bed and breakfast of terror. This is like the making of the gay bed and breakfast of terror, because it isn't actually gay until the end when they take over.
Which, did they become straight?
No, he was still in full drag. And
did he become a lady and then like ladies? And I don't know. This movie, we could just this episode could just be about from when they get in the room with Mickey Day tied up and they're talking to the mom, because that ending is batshit. I still don't understand anything that's even going on there.
I don't understand half the movie. It just, I gave up on notes. I gave up on the movie halfway through. I doubt I will watch this again.
Well, if they took out a lot of that middle part and it was just the beginning kind of cut down a little bit, and the ending is so amazing. Let's just talk about the end, which we don't have notes on.
But I also want to point out that the funny part about cutting down the movie is that the movie is only an hour and 47 minutes.
I mean, that's still 17 minutes longer than a normal movie.
I mean, but it could be like an hour less.
Oh, absolutely. It could be like the newest Winnie the Pooh movie that came out, the animated one, not the other one. I think it was just called A Pooh Movie. That one was like 79 minutes long. I saw it at the Harbor Theater in Muskegon, Michigan, and I loved it because it was so short. They didn't have any fluff. It was just cuteness and visual effects.
But this movie, for being an hour and 45 minutes, I felt like I was watching the extended version of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like all at once. It was just so long.
It was insanity.
Like so many times where you thought the movie was going to end and then it just kept going.
Or because they kept adding in storyline of backstory, starting with
Lady Igor.
Yeah, Lady Igor telling everyone about Manfred and her love of a nun witch. Which story do you believe? Do you believe Lady Igor or Scary Godmothers?
I think they were just all made up. They just went on a real bad acid trip.
Oh, I feel like before we get into this, we should just very briefly explain the plot of the movie.
Okay. I will very briefly
explain. Which I know is
do it.
Gonna be hard to do.
Okay. 5 couples, all gay, LGBTQ
plus the one.
Plus Priscilla or whatever her name was.
Lizette is her name. We see them driving in cars, kissing each other's hands, and almost running into another car. They go to this bed and breakfast for different reasons. Some of them are going to a leather convention.
It's while Scary Godmother is making people muffins.
Yes. Yeah, mincemeat, but really people muffins.
And then they all come at pretty much the same exact time. They are introduced to Lady Igor and Scary Godmother. Scary Godmother, is that, or Scary Stepmother?
Either or.
It's Godmother because she's obsessed with God.
Oh, yes. That makes sense. So they're kicking it cool, relaxing outside of the pool. And a couple of guys from the neighborhood, I'm sorry.
Oh, my fucking God.
They are there for different reasons, like Tit Monster and Jewel, Perfect Tooth Jewel. She's going to try and sing in a coffee store. Leathers.
Okay, you don't need to go through all their different.
Good.
Yeah, go past that.
Just like the quick notes.
Then they start getting murdered, and during the process of them being murdered, we hear backstory about Lady Igor, who I want to believe both of the stories.
No, okay, but before that, it's like the couples are just like all hooking up with each other and
cheating on their partners.
Yeah, cheating on
and
each other
like,
and stuff.
hating each other because they're fed up with each other for whatever reason that we never get explained, actually.
And while that's happening, Manfred is like slowly picking them off one by one. But then the scary godmother's also like running around with a butcher knife.
and
she
killing
kills-
some of them.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
kills Lizette because she found a Bible that said "kill all the gays."
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but like, why would Scary Godmother know that? But okay, until we get into that, basically that happens. They're all being picked off one by one, and then they all come together and hear backstory for Lady Igor, and then they come together to like escape and hear backstory from Scary Godmother, and they're all together while another guy is in a room and had gotten
Yeah, because the
Something.
whole overarching thing is that Scary Godmother is
Oh, yeah.
trying to turn a gay man straight and get them to marry Lady Igor
Because
who is
Lady,
her daughter, who is a lesbian.
but not really her daughter.
secretly,
God, this
but
movie.
not really. Yeah, not really her daughter.
Okay, I really just want to talk about the ending. That's it. Because
I
the
mean-
ending.
The only notable things throughout the movie that I can think of is the eating the mincemeat human muffins.
Oh yeah, and there's just the earring.
And there's an earring in it.
And then Lady Igor takes the earring and just like starts nibbling on it like
I
she's a
complete-
squirrel.
I completely forgot about that, and I hate that you made it. Yeah, I hate that you reminded me that happened. And then the pop collar Frankenstein gets mad at dead-eyed Bruce Campbell for sleeping with his boyfriend and starts to do judo on him very poorly.
My sweater.
And rips his sweater.
My sweater.
Like my sweater.
Do you like my sweater?
And then they start making out, and that's when he dies.
No, they don't start
They're
making
having
out.
sex.
Yeah, they start having sex. Manfred bites and murders him while High Tea is still inside of him.
But then while High Tea, also before Manfred murders him, High Tea's boyfriend, who is now in drag at this point, goes to make out with
Perfect Tooth
Jewel because they're like, oh, my boyfriend's hooking up with blah, blah, blah. And then the Perfect Tooth Jewel is like, oh, my girlfriend's a bitch. Have you ever thought about being straight? I'm tired of being gay. And they're like, oh, I don't know. Have you thought about being straight? And then they're like weird camera shots of their lips. And then they start to make out and get a decapitated head of Twink Boy thrown at them.
Which they scream at the head and then they look at each other to be like, we just kissed, then scream in kind of like shock and disgust from kissing.
And then they run in opposite directions, but then go and meet up in Perfect Jewel's room.
The movie reminded me a lot of Scooby-Doo mixed with Clue, the movie, not the board game.
Yeah, but Clue the movie was good.
Yeah, but
And Innkeepers, but better than Innkeepers.
Oh, that's shots fired at Innkeepers.
Ooh, shots fired at Raphael.
Who? What? Does
'Cause
Raphael
he likes
love
that movie.
Oh, geez. I've never seen it, but you have
really
talked very
fucking
lowly
boring.
of it. So,
This movie definitely wasn't boring, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
you could
it
say.
was 100% entertaining.
oh my,
It's
yeah.
just too much entertainment all packed into an hour and 47
Yes, I would love to
minutes.
see a recut of an hour and 20. Just really good, clean cuts, bada bing.
I'd love to see 30 to 45 minutes.
Which is just the end. Show us the end. Okay,
now we can get into that
You
we've discussed
might
all the
even
beginning stuff.
Be able to just like cut out all of the car scenes.
Yes. So, one thing I want to talk in the car scene when dead-eyed Bruce Campbell just does an eye roll but doesn't move his eyes.
That
He
was
just
a
goes,
gay face.
"Uh."
I mean, that was a look that I give to many people. I do agree with that one. I'm just like,
No, but you have life in your eyes.
I'm not dead-eyed Bruce Campbell.
Let me just, I still want to get into some of my notes because the end I didn't put any notes in. Let's go. The eye roll. Flower in Lady Igor's ear made it look like she had a deformed ear. Even when I saw the trailer, I thought it was a big ol' ear, like she was
You're alone.
It looked like she was half like elf, but like big-eared elf. Even the elves would make fun of these big ears, and half normal.
What's the next thing? We got a lot to go
I know.
through.
Okay. So in the car with Pop Collar Frankenstein and Mikey Day with gemstone cowgirl, Lizette. Yeah, Lizette's so much easier.
Priscilla.
Yeah, that's her name now. She said, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to go to this, I guess, store or convention to buy jewelry." And they said, "Oh, you're buying more gems? Where are you going to keep it? In your clit?"
Oh, yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
And
You can't put things inside a clit.
I said, especially when it's erect. You can't hide anything in there.
God damn it, James.
we're just gonna say that he's a gay man that doesn't know female anatomy
I was like,
at all.
He's definitely gay.
Just say one of her labia flaps. Menorah or majora.
I
or
think
just vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, where are you gonna keep it? In your vagina? Like, that would be it. Like,
Yeah.
why go further and say your clit, which
Unless
makes no
it's a
sense.
vibrating gemstone. That's where you want it.
Oh my God.
Okay, then I got through that. I did write down who's Manfred, and then that scene with we're just gonna call Perfect Tooth Jewel PTJ. PTJ says
Just call her Jewel.
no, but she has perfect teeth.
Oh my God.
There's no snaggle tooth. I was gonna say snaggle puss, but no snaggle tooth to get caught in some fuzzy pubes is what I said during this movie. She says, "Who's Manfred?" 5 times in a scene. Just who's Manfred?
In such a like sitcom-y way.
Yeah. Then we also have Lady Igor, when they were introducing the inn, just had these dance gestures.
That
Do you
was so
remember that?
Oh my God.
That I feel like when you've had a long week and you think, holy shit, that was only Monday. I feel like this movie is a long week. I'm like, that happened. It feels like forever ago that happened.
I have
Also-
a question.
yeah.
Yes.
Why did they make people muffins?
Because Manfred loves, I'm saying his name wrong every single time. He eats people. So I think they were for him. So they kind of incorporate people in all their meals.
I think it was just weird.
Yeah.
There is no explanation given for that. Another thing in the movie that I loved was the mean lipstick lesbian shoving Lady Igor aside whenever they're like,
yeah.
she's like, oh, Manfred won't let me leave, and then she goes, okay, bye, and then just shoves her.
It
Yeah.
happened twice.
Oh my God.
Those parts of this movie make it seem like a hilarious sitcom, and it was genuinely funny. It was great.
Yeah, that and my other favorite part was when the same person who James refers to as mom haircut.
Mom cut.
Mom cut 2008.
God, we haven't even God, there's so much shit in this movie. Okay, I'm going to try and not make this a really long thing. So mom haircut and the sweet lady run some sort of a business for edible body paint.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, we're going to have some intimate times. So they like roll out this white tarp to do that. The sweet lady is off doing other shit. So mom haircut is in the room by herself and is just like I was like, is she on mushrooms or something? Because it just feels like with the music and like how her voice was, like this was just like her tripping out scene. She's fully nude but has underwear on. I'm not done. Okay. I'm just setting it up. The paint she uses is red. So her whole body is covered in red body paint and it's all over like the ground. And my favorite part is when Scary Godmother like rushes. You can see her in the hallway from the door with like a big old butcher knife. And she just looks at mom haircut who is just like laying on the floor and is just like, oh, she's already dead, and just leaves without saying anything.
But she busts into the room and says, there will be no ladies dating my daughter, and then looks at it and talk about that butcher knife.
That it's a crucifix?
Yeah. It was some we've
It's a
talked
knife block set. Like,
Yeah.
And we only find this out whenever she murders the nun in the flashback that may or may not have happened.
It looks like something that would be in a Blade or Underworld movie.
Yes. That's
Like,
for killing vampires,
it
not
doesn't
homosexuals.
it doesn't look like religious very much. It looks like like a goth would have in their kitchen.
I was going to say it looks
'cause it's
gothic
just all
as hell.
black.
Yeah.
It was just a trip.
Oh my God.
The whole
And
movie was a trip.
The shrine. With
Yes.
George W. Bush.
And then we have to get into the mom getting gangbanged by everyone at the Republican convention.
She was even rethinking about it. Her clit was erect.
She loved it.
Yeah, that was one of the flashes. That's how much of a journey this movie goes on. One of the flashbacks is of the mom getting gangbanged at the Republican convention in the bathroom where she was there selling hot dogs.
Oh yeah, she's like wiener.
And
Wiener?
the first guy that enters her, I don't think you guys saw it, but because you might have been taking notes or not looking, because I had a huge reaction to it when he
squirted mustard on her chest.
Mustard on her chest like she was getting a pearl necklace.
Yeah, I just blocked.
I saw it.
I blocked
I
it
just
out.
didn't think it was necessary to comment on it. But
and
here
then
we are.
But that was the origin story for Manfred.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had that was her baby, was just the mixed sperm of everyone at the Republican convention.
Yeah, like that's a part you could definitely just not have in the movie.
No, you need that because then he busts out from her vagina as a full-grown person,
like
and
a 7-year-old,
and like spits out his mouth a like very viscous
So
white
fucking gross.
material that looks so much like semen, thinking she had so much in there.
Jeez.
Also,
which is hard to do because all of them were still like fully clothed. None of them took their clothes off at all, which it's not like, oh, we don't want, unclothed people in the movie, because we see a penis and we see boobs straight out.
We see a lot of pubes too.
A lot of pubes. So like they were all fully clothed. They were dry humping her.
Yeah. No, maybe they were dry humping so much. I do have So when I would dry hump in high school, I would ejaculate, and then I would be afraid that like there would be a wet stain on there, so I would be like, oh no. But maybe their wet stains just like seeped onto her underwear and got her pregnant that way.
I just think they were like, ah, yes.
So
all of their facial expressions aren't like, they don't look like they're having sex. They're all just smiling as if they're like laughing.
And then like moving around like they're having
and just
sex.
like jiggling.
They're a little jiggling at her.
do you guys know how Freddy Krueger...
And all in just like a dog pile.
Yeah.
In the bathroom with her legs thrown up.
Do you guys know how the origin story of Freddy Krueger on how his birth was?
God.
It was the same
No.
exact thing, except his mom, I think, was a nun in an insane asylum, something like that, and she ends up getting raped by like 50 mental patients, and there's like all this demonic stuff, and it's pretty much the same thing except it's consensual.
So basically what we're saying is that Freddy Krueger's brother is Slug Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slug
Amazing.
Boy. People love to dress up like Jason Voorhees. They love having the fedora and sweater combo, just like Freddy Krueger. They love getting that Michael Myers mask and jumpsuit. This year, I want to see more Slug Boy Manfreds all over.
Get out your sleeping bags and make them real goopy.
Just like get the really shiny ones or throw some spray paint or something on that, because that's straight up what that costume was.
Just like put some like Mountain Dew and some Vaseline, shake it up, and just drizzle it on there.
What about the
Oh, yes. So Lady Igor says, and mother brought him home in a wheelchair, but it was a wheelbarrow.
Just in a wheelbarrow.
The way that she brought him in, I thought she was just gonna like throw him down. I was like, yep, throw him down, bury him in the yard. That's it.
Fuck him. He's good.
And they give the origin story for Igor girl of how
Yes.
she was born, and like calls. God, I
Okay,
don't.
so how Lady Igor comes to be is scary godmother's sorority sister fell in love with, or an evangelical priest or pastor seduces this lady who was she won Miss Florida heterosexual.
No. It was the international. I have it. It's the Christian heterosexual world pageant.
Okay. I thought she was also I think she was Miss Florida.
It was in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was international. I thought it was intergalactic for some weird reason.
Oh, no.
Space Force.
Yes. So she has sex with this pastor, but she doesn't. Who Scary Godmother then calls her a whore after then
telling a story of
getting banged out by
Yeah.
multiple Republicans.
But also, can we talk about how when she was telling that flashback and she was a sorority sister, she straight up looks like a 40-year-old woman. Just
Yeah,
like
they don't get another
20.
actor.
with like the tiniest fucking skirt
Yeah.
on.
And she doesn't want to abort the baby with a coat hanger, which I have somewhere in the apartment from Hell on Earth 2008, which I have a poster of. Demonic, who will be a guest on one of my other podcasts. He fashioned up a coat hanger for like easy abortions and was just throwing it up on stage and threw it out in the crowd, and I got it. But she didn't want to do a coat hanger abortion and
She's
said,
like, no more wire hangers.
Yeah, and she took the baby and then said, I'm so glad I took the baby because she really made something out of herself. She went on and took her pageant winning money to do a campaign against the homosexuals. Well, is the triangle a homosexual?
Yes.
Okay, and she had a picture and was just Xing it out over and over again at a podium. God, this movie
And
is
it wasn't very well lit at all.
It's so batshit. This podcast, we broke the mold after last episode, the tearjerker that Corwyn tricked me with. Much like they were tricking people into coming to this gay bed and breakfast. Guess what? It's not gay bed and breakfast. It's a conversion camp.
I mean, but it turns into a gay bed
Yes.
and breakfast. If we talk about the end, which we have been talking about the end,
Oh
I
my
guess.
God.
The two survivors, the drag queen,
Earthly is what we'll call her.
Earthly, she in drag continues the operation, I guess, as Scary Godmother because she makes muffins out of human flesh
With
again.
The
TJ.
necklace.
With the pearl necklace in it. And then the what is it?
PTJ?
Perfect Tooth Jewel. Yeah,
PTJ.
She becomes the new other. She's not the new Lady Igor because it implies
She's
that they're like
the
sleeping together.
husband.
Yeah, she's the husband.
and she has like a piece of wheat
Oh my!
in
Yes,
her mouth.
she
and
had a
shit.
cowboy hat, a straw hat, and then said, "Well, partner, some fucked up thing like
she
that."
just like they are now in a relationship and they've just switched gender roles.
And she just has like a southern accent.
Just suddenly, there was just a lot to
And her
unpack in
shirt
this
still
movie.
had blood on it. So we
Yes.
were like, is this happening in the same like 24 hours?
I think it was that same night.
Like just the next day, they're just like, okay, well, we're gonna make new muffins with all of our, we're taking over the gay bed and breakfast of terror.
Nicole, how long does it take muffins to make?
I don't
Like
know.
less than an hour.
Okay, so then I'm going to say 90 minutes after they killed everyone.
Well, it was
that
still
is when it happened.
Still night
Yeah.
whenever they killed everyone. So the next morning.
No, it was still
No, it was like
Oh yeah,
day.
because then we see they also had to have time to bury everyone and have rose bushes at every single. It was very blurry, this scene. When the sun rises, you see another. Remember in the beginning of the movie when the scary godmother steps on like a blood pouch?
Yeah.
It's because she buried the girl screaming that Manfred got.
Yeah.
And she had a rose bush there. Not a bush, you know what like a rose plant of flowers.
Roses are bushes.
Yeah.
But it was like standing up. Like it wasn't just a bush in the ground.
It's still a bush, technically.
And there were another row of them as the sun was rising.
I didn't really pay attention to that much because I was just
because you thought that was the end.
I was like, I thought it was ending like 20 minutes previously.
She puts Manfred to bed, and then they see Bear John Hodgman and Bear, one of the Sklar brothers, come in and say, hey,
we're going to the bear convention.
Yeah. And
we need to check in immediately.
And I
it
think
was
they backed away.
Burning Bear.
Yes.
Burning Bear.
Yeah. God, this movie.
There's just so much. Okay, there's just so much to unpack that there's no reason to unpack it. It's just too much. But my theory for this movie is that there's some just straight demon taking over this bed and breakfast, and it's turning everyone that goes there and survives crazy. That's it. That's my theory.
Yeah,
the demon is Manfred.
Realistically, I don't think they should have turned that way. I don't think they should have been murderous. Especially after they had that, high school comedy reaction to kissing each other, and it felt like a buddy movie between the two.
Yeah, and then it made a point of showing Deadeye Bruce Campbell, like, because he got away. He came back. We forgot to mention that. He actually got away from the bed and breakfast, but came back because he looked over and started, like, remembering that his boyfriend was still at the gay bed and breakfast of terror. So he had to go back to get his boyfriend, and he ends up attempting to save everyone by murdering Manfred, which he fails to do, even though he beats the shit out of him with a tire iron. And then his boyfriend just murders him. It's like, why did he came back for you.
He cheated on him twice.
He was also a porn star. Like, not that that's any, consolation at all. But like, I don't think it was like the boyfriend, the earthly, wasn't upset about the cheating so much until like that very moment. And he was like, oh, you came back for the other guy. And he's like, no, I came back for you. And he's like, no, you came back for the other guy. Stab. It was just kind of dumb.
Was Divine in a movie called Flamingo?
I have no idea.
Oh, shoot. Because I was going to say, I think it was Flamingo, but Earthly would be in a movie called Pigeon.
It was just...
Let me double check that.
And then the end, the nice lipstick lesbian was still alive. The one that discovered the shrine and was nice to Luelle, Lady Igor, and all of that. She was still alive at the end, and she saw them turning crazy. Sweet lady. She was like, no, are you guys crazy? Why are you like, what's happening? And then because she opened her mouth, they decide to turn around, and suddenly there are two crucifix knives, and they both stab her together. And that
she was
should
like,
have been
you guys are freaks.
You guys are freaks. I've been passed out, and my girlfriend is dead.
There were always, I think they have a full knife kit of crucifix knives.
Yeah, but you only need one chef's knife, which is what that was. It was a chef's knife, and you only need one of those in a knife set. So, like, why would you have two of them?
Is a chef's knife double-sided?
No, it wasn't double-sided.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
No, it was straight up like,
no,
do you remember those?
I think there was a chef knife and like maybe like a smaller one.
Oh, because it looked like just a large letter opener or, something that would be on Baldur's Gate.
No, it looked like that thing. Oh, those, what are the little monsters in Final Fantasy that carry the lanterns?
Oh, Dumberries, Duneberries.
Whatever they are that can kill you in one shot. It was the knife they have.
Yes, yeah.
Which is it's a straight up a chef's knife.
Thornberries.
I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually.
But you could get there was a king one too, that where Odin lived in Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah.
Bring it back.
Okay, you didn't give me anything for Baldur's Gate, which I know maybe your father played. Isn't that you that
I played Baldur's Gate, yeah.
But your dad likes Diablo.
I mean, my dad plays a lot of games.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure. Corwyn's cool, guys.
I play a lot of old video games. It happens.
Love it. We love this movie and Baldur's Gate Icewind Dale 2.
I mean, loving this movie is a very, very long stretch. I don't think I will ever watch it again willingly.
Anyone who is watching this, watch the first 10 minutes to get introduced to everyone, then fast forward maybe 30 minutes and go from there.
If there's a way to watch it on like 3 speed or something, like just watch it at a faster speed, just do that.
I wouldn't even say once the killings start, don't even wait for that. Wait for at least when Sweatshirt Frankenstein, Pop Collar Frankenstein gets murdered. That's when you should start.
Yeah, because when they straight up murder Lizard Daddy in the bathtub, like we forgot about him completely. And then they also murder the twink earbud boy. And they murder Priscilla or Lizette or whatever her name is. And like by the end of the movie, I completely forgot about all of those characters.
Yeah, we don't need them. We do not need Lizard Man Daddy. Except we need his cash.
They needed his cash.
He was funding this movie. That's why he was in here.
Yes.
Let me go to some notes. I have a lot. Oh, okay. So when Lady Igor and Scary Godmother are kind of holding each other, and we were introduced to the concept that she is gay, and the mother is trying to find her a husband. She kind of goes in and goes, you hear a fly noise and said, "Did you bathe?" And then she kind of just like moves her shirt in front of her armpit. God, this movie, it's good. I enjoyed this movie.
I think everyone should at least see it one time.
Yeah.
But that's it. Just watch it once. That's all you need.
For real, fast forward.
So how about when the mom rapes that one guy?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
She like ties him up to the bed and then does something, comes back with flower petals and is like
and the
singing
knife.
And the knife, and it's like singing the whatever song, the wedding song or whatever, and then it's just like rips his shirt off and shit.
She's like, and then shows him her bosom.
She's like, I'm gonna convert you. And I'm like, if anything, you would make him more gay.
She's like, you're gonna be my daughter's husband, and then but also I'm gonna try the goods first.
What the fuck?
But also before that, they like managed to clean up dead bodies very quickly.
And Corwyn asked, how did they clean up all that blood so quickly? And I just shouted, they've clearly heard a horrorcore song, Corwyn. This entire thing, there's a Bloodshot song called So Much Blood, and it's about a hotel, kind of Bates Motel-ish, and he's murdering so many people that there's just a flood of blood, and the town is seeing it now. It's a stretch even for a horrorcore song, guys.
So, I mean, we've already established that I don't know music. So, thanks for explaining it to me, because I did not understand that reference when you said it.
No one listening is going to understand that reference. I put down in the beginning, of course, all my notes are within the first 30 minutes. Mom is thirsty for some daughter dickin'. She just wants her laid and husband so much. So much, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
God, mothers, am I right?
That was the whole thing?
That was all.
She wanted to send, she should have just sent her to the Republican convention, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Shoulda.
Getting horned up for, a nice buttoned up George W. type.
God, that wouldn't have even happened that long previously, because Lady Igor was old whenever she brought Manfred home, and Manfred was born like that age already. So that she got digged down at the Republican convention like recently.
Yeah.
Like it was within a few years.
Unless Man-Fried is timeless.
No, but Lady Igor isn't timeless.
yeah.
So we can place her on the timeline that way.
Okay,
It's been after she apparently, has her has her nun lover that dies.
Which we don't. So I think it's these two storylines. Lady Igor and the mom give us conflicting backstories for Lady Igor.
Very extremes.
And I want to believe two of them. I want to take the first half from the mothers and then the second half from the daughters. Of the daughter was just a horny Catholic girl just rubbing her stuff on corners.
I do not want to see that scene again.
And then she leaves because she can't be converted and then falls in love with the nun and the mother murders the nun. Those are the stories that is canon for this movie.
Yeah, because they make, in the mom story, they make Igor they make it look like she's very like rapey to the other girls in the school.
Yeah. And loves murder.
Which she
yeah.
does end up murdering the mean sweet lady's counterpart. 2008 mom haircut.
We could just call her Mom Cut now.
Mom cut. She does like literally go a little crazy and murder Mom Cut, and then tries to murder
PTJ.
PTJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect
yeah,
tooth
you can
jewel.
see like her, like you do see her like very creepily try and like be part of their relationship.
I mean, and
she
they
was
also,
trying to get in everyone's relationship.
They
Yeah.
also, establish that she's kind of crazy, but like the mom is crazy too. They're all crazy. None of their stories are reliable. None of them are reliable narrators. So
I don't know.
None of them.
I kind of trust what Manfred was saying.
Just
He had the titular line. I said it. He was just saying it so quickly.
How did he get in the car?
yeah. How the car was locked. The twink boy should have gotten away.
The car wasn't locked. Okay, so here's what happened. Earbud Boy and Lizard Man Daddy, they left the car. And when they left it, they didn't lock it. So what Manfred did was he went in the car and behind him, he locked it. He got his snail trail on it. That's why it was all gooped up. So then Earbud Boy goes in it. He has to unlock it because Manfred, you remember, goopy hand it. And then he goes in, locks it. And then when he goes to lock it, sees, that Mountain Dew Vaseline on there and says, oh no, what's the deal with this? And then, scary godmother's trying to knife him through the windshield.
And he's like, "Go away, you crazy bitch."
Yeah, and then he sees Manfred in the back.
But why does Manfred lock it in the first place then?
Why does Manfred get in that car specifically
Yeah,
and
it's
lock
so
it?
weird.
He's just a little scamp. That's why.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just so weird.
Like I said, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Meyer, Manfred. That's what I want to see next Halloween.
I also want to point out that don't cars like the light comes on when you open the door? Did that happen when Twink Boy opened it?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I'm like, how did he not see Manfred? Because he's huge. He is a giant sluggy tail.
Yeah, but think of a snail. They wind up in that little shell of theirs.
But
Maybe he
also,
can
if
wind up
you're
too.
like, if you're like running away from a murderer, you're not really gonna pay attention to that. You're just gonna try and drive away.
I mean, I feel like
okay,
but
hold
I
on.
feel like adrenaline jumping up makes you like more aware of your surroundings.
Someone grab a knife. We gotta have to test this.
Anyone have a car?
Oh, damn.
Okay, someone call an Uber.
Oh God.
We're like, okay, you can just stay there. We'll tip you well. We just need your car for a second.
And a sleeping bag.
A wet sleeping bag. Oh, they carry water on them usually, so hey,
So
he'll get a
gross.
5-star if they also have some Vaseline.
I don't want to get in the Uber that has Vaseline ready for me.
What else do I have on here? I think I kind of have... Oh, everyone needs to change when they get to the bed and breakfast. All of them. It's who planned something to have to change right when you get to somewhere. They all needed to change, and that was a huge point of contention for every single adult in that place. Besides Manfred, he's not an adult.
But also, like, why... Okay, they're changing to go to some party and stuff, or their respective things, but, like, none of them are rushing to go. Even though at the beginning when they were coming, they were like, it's so long a drive to get out here. So you would think that they'd like go drop off their stuff, change real quick, and then be like, all right, peace out. But none of them do. None of them have any urgency to leave.
I think because of this, only one person in each couple had something to do. So the other person was like, fuck it, I don't want... Because Lizard Daddy was going to a club with Earbud Boy, and Earbud Boy wanted to go to the club, but Lizard Man Daddy didn't.
But like Earbud Boy wasn't even dressed to go either.
I think he was.
He was. That was his outfit.
Oh my god.
Come on, Nicole.
A pair of underwear, some cowboy boots, and a cowboy hat. That was
the
his outfit.
underwear wasn't even like with the boots and the hat. It was like green with like leaves
It
on
looked
It was
like a
camouflage.
Oh my god.
And then Tit Monster and PTJ. Tit Monster didn't want to go to the coffee shop.
I forgot about Tid Monster.
And then
Christ.
Dead-Eyed Bruce Campbell and Earthly.
We're going to a leather party
And-
convention thing.
And Earthly said, finally, this will be your last year doing this. So then we can have a normal life, possibly. She or he didn't want to go.
But Earthly was like dressing in drag. So I get why that one took a little long.
Yeah. And then
Sweater Man.
where were they going?
I don't know. I feel like all of them were going to the same place. When I looked up, I did a quick like check on Google, and it was like, oh, reviews. This is terrible. It said all of them were going to the Blue Party, which I completely missed that. So it might have been a thing.
They said it like once.
Yeah.
In the car.
So yeah, it's only 5 of them wanted to go to this thing, and the other 5 didn't want to go to their thing.
I think
So
the
I think
drag
that's-
queen wanted to go.
What? But Perfect Tooth Jewel was going to her.
She was going to
to
a
the
coffee
coffee
shop.
shop.
So I guess
Yeah.
she was going to something different. And then her girlfriend was just
Tit Monster.
Tit Monster was literally just Tit Monster.
Tit
just
Monster was a fucking bitch. She pissed me off because it reminded me of, I love going to zine fests, and whenever Nicole tables somewhere, I love going there because I love to, 1, support her, and I love to see her succeed. So Tit Monster, fuck off, for real. I literally was pissed watching her act to her girlfriend.
And then she died very
Good.
quickly. And we forgot about her.
How
She
did
also
she
flashed
die?
her boobs. The scary godmother stabbed
Remember
her.
in the lobby.
In the
Oh,
lobby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Luella was like, Lady Igor was hitting on her. So scary godmother.
Okay.
Which is funny that that's the one girl that Tit Monster wasn't trying to get with besides her girlfriend, because she was like straight up flashing her boobs and like trying to hook up with the other lesbian couple
Yeah.
that did not want her at all.
She's a tit monster, that's why. She's spooky.
Spooky.
Monsters equal spooky. I will say it time and time again, okay?
I mean, Manfred was very spooky.
Oh, just the thought of him.
Oh my god.
All right, how long into this are we, and how many notes do you have left?
We are 48 minutes in, so I think
Nice.
we can...
58. Oh wait, but there's like sound check.
This is how... Okay, so a lesbian pretending to be a nun. That is what Scary Mother said. She wasn't a nun who is a lesbian. She is a lesbian pretending to be a nun.
Oh yeah.
So terrible. The tit monster thing reminded me of something that Nicole and I experienced. Us being from Muskegon, we had never lived in an apartment building, but in the courtyard, the first year, I'm pointing at the courtyard for Corwyn. The first year that we lived here, we looked out the window and there's frosted glass, meaning in the courtyard is a bathroom. Well, the bathroom also, for all of these apartments, the window is the shower. So there was one day where our angle, someone had it cracked open and we just saw a dong just right there. And I said, Nicole, oh, look at this, look at it.
The penis is back.
Yeah, and then we saw it again and Nicole said, the penis is back. And we also saw a woman's pubis.
You're just like in Friends where they see the naked neighbor across the way and they're just like, oh, look, naked man. Ugly naked man? I don't know.
What do we got? I just have a few more notes. She said, so when Tit Monster asks Lady Igor, can I send flowers or something to the girls
to another room?
Yes, into another room. And she said, well, we don't normally do that. And she said, you don't have anything you could send. And she said, Manfred does have chocolate goody yum-yums. And the fuck is that?
I don't know. But there was a scene when at the end when Perfect Tooth Jewel was taking care of Manfred, it like panned out a little bit and it showed like some like pile of like marshmallowy and chocolate stuff.
Oh yes, it was the chocolate marshmallow. Yes, that's what she said.
That's
yes.
it.
I totally forget.
Nom noms, chocolate marshmallow nom noms.
This movie had so much blood. When people were being stabbed or bitten into, just gallons of blood were falling out of people. It was great.
Very gory, but also not gory enough. It's like they tried to go in 6 different directions, but didn't go in any one enough. So you end up with like crazy outfits, but then not like only 2 people had like, you know, fun outfits with the drag queen and Mr. Leather, and then the floaty bathing suit ripped guy.
He had little floaties, and after sex, dead-eyed Bruce Campbell gives him back the floaties, and he's like, "Thank you."
Oh my god, I missed that. I was too distracted. That guy was actually ripped, but it was just so weird. He had on swimming, not trunks, like.
They were in between, like swimming briefs, like they're in between.
They were
trunks
like swimming
and Speedo.
boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised he wasn't in a Speedo because he was ripped.
Yeah.
But he also had a little boogie board and like
arm
floaties on,
and that pool was ankle deep.
Like he walked out into it, and it's just like, okay, there's you don't need all of that.
Absolutely not. I did. So when the mom captures him, and says, "Oh, you're not like the rest, you're different." And I wrote down, he literally just got cream pied by a man.
Which was also funny because he was the submissive one in that to the Mr. Leather dude who was in assless chaps.
Yeah.
So we were like, what's the point of the assless chaps?
I was expecting someone to have speared him in the butt, and that goes through, and it like goes through the penis and into the what did we call the other guy's butt, and it like just completely eviscerates both of them.
That's like upper budget horror movie. That's like House of Wax level effects, not
that's Friday the 13th. Jason loves to spear people.
I'm just thinking of that scene in House of Wax where Paris Hilton gets hit with the like PVC pipe through a car window.
I've seen bits and pieces of that.
I love Paris Hilton, so I'm like, her death is very memorable to me. So
what? I think I had one more note. I just have to find it in this. Oh, okay. So when Lady Igor meets the nun, she's playing bingo, and she holds up her bingo cards, and the bingo to win spells out a cross in those little blots that kids love to play with.
There's a lot.
This movie's good. Besides,
I thought that's not the point I thought you were gonna bring out with the bingo is she like grabs the winning cards and just like tosses
Yeah, and
them.
says, fuck it.
But it's like, you wouldn't do that. You're in a room full of people playing bingo.
They don't care. They're too busy smoking cigarettes and getting old.
And staring at the cute nun that Lady Igor's gonna hook up with.
She's going to get freaking reamed by her.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Guys, I think we talked about this movie.
We did. I think we talked more coherently about this movie than we did the other two, basically because this movie was such a mess.
And there were fewer... We talked about this movie much more because we needed to keep this under an hour, which is going to be a little over an hour, but I'm
That's
cool with
fine.
it. Nicole,
Yeah.
we're done. What do you have to plug?
Wait. Whoa,
Oh,
we're
what-
You have
done
any other,
already?
do you have any
Yeah.
other thoughts?
Oh my
Or
God.
This is an
just
hour.
thoughts about the movie.
Silence is being kept in.
I don't like it. You guys are both staring at me.
I'm
That is
looking
so
away,
pressured.
clearly.
Um,
Final thoughts.
I don't know. Anyone listening to this is probably very confused. You should watch this movie.
Yes, it's only on Vimeo. That's the Venmo is the app that you pay people with, right?
Yeah.
So-
It's Vimeo.
Yes, Vimeo. It's only $1.99 to rent it HD for 72 hours.
If you're, we laughed so fucking hard.
It's
Like,
this was a great movie.
It's
Get some
slow
friends.
going, but it's once it picks up, it fucking picks up.
The ending, I will keep stressing this, is fantastic. The ending's 40 minutes, but it's great.
I'm just still laughing about Mom Cut shoving Lady Igor.
She wasn't even like, because she was just like, Manfred won't let me leave. And she's like, okay, bye. And just like pushes her and starts running.
And then they come back up and she said, we have to get in, I forget what they said, something like, oh, Manfred is out here. If I go in, he'll come in, and then they just push her again.
They're just like, bye,
And
Lady Igor.
A forceful push.
Yeah,
like a
she, like,
stunt
bounced.
person was needed.
At that point is when I took my notepad and I set it on the ground and was like, all right, we're done with this. We're done with notes. And that gets into my point of this movie. I think everyone should watch it. Just, be sure you have 2 hours time to do it, because you're going to need at least like 15 minutes to like decompress after.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Probably way more than that. But like, yeah, you need to this is a whole day affair.
And I feel like you shouldn't watch it by yourself.
Oh,
because,
absolutely not.
No.
Like, you need someone to talk to about it because it's so insane.
I'm even gonna say you need what we did. 2 people with you at least.
Yeah, the funny thing about this is originally when we were doing this, we were like, okay, we're going to do one more podcast with just James and I. And we're going to watch this movie and then do their podcast, and then we'll start doing guests and all that. But like halfway through the movie, we're like, Nicole, we need you.
Yes.
Like,
Because Nicole was originally going to be working on stuff and not paying attention. And then she was laser focused. And I said, what Corwyn said, we need you on this, because I was thinking as we were going to be talking about this, we would have just heard you screaming from the living room like, but what about this?
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like, he kept us on track with a lot of things that we would not have talked about half this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was a mess. My recommendation is you should watch it. Just watch it once, though. Don't put yourself through it multiple times.
Yeah.
Beware of straight people.
Beware of straight people.
Is that
like,
what
get
the
that on
song was?
soundtrack.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Okay, yeah.
Get that soundtrack because it's good. It's so good. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Watch the movie, but beware.
Okay, Nicole, plugs, what you got?
Plugs. It's me. You can find me as Darling Homebody on Instagram. Probably by the time this comes out, probably YouTube. Facebook,
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Tumblr, Crumbums on Instagram, which is the webcomic that I draw James writes for.
Yeah, baby.
It's real cute.
And then you can also check her out on her podcast, Mostly Speaking Sentai, which we co-host together. It's about the Super Sentai series, but that mostly, boy, do we use that. Listen to it. It's on all the same stuff that this is on. And then also listen to my rap music, Marshland Monster. That's 3 words, marsh, space, land, space, monster. You might like it. History has told you'll like it, but you'll never listen to it again. You'll think it's really good, but have no desire to hear it a second time.
All right, what else?
Fuck me. Check out my other podcast, I'll Get There with Courtney and Monse. It's a podcast about it's bullshit, where you just bullshit for an hour and a half mostly.
And the only thing I've got going on right now is my theater company, Saltbox Theatre Collective, is doing a show in January. The information can be found on saltboxtheater.org.
Which will be linked in this description,
Yes.
baby.
And we're also going to have social media linked in the description.
Yeah.
We're probably going to have Twitter and who knows what else.
I-
This movie's gay.
Instagram, no thank you. It's
It'll
just another thing that we have to do.
Yeah, so you'll find that information below. Please tweet at us, especially movies that you want us to watch that are LGBT, Q plus everything. We want more movies sent to us. I have a very expansive list, and Amazon and Hulu and everything has a lot of LGBT movies available. But if you have any that you want us to specifically watch and talk about, please send that to us.
And if you're producing an LGBTQ movie and you want us to do it on this podcast, give us that cash, bitches. My name's Ben James.
My name's Corwyn.
I'm Nicole.
See you guys next week.